Obviously, got a great team here in Purdue. Um, those that follow the Big Ten know a lot of the main characters. Are really well coached. Um, Edie's tremendous. They've got excellent freshman guards. They've got really good players, um, and it'll be a great challenge. So obviously they're got off to a 13-0 start. They're number one in the country for a reason. They're a really good team.
Just watching Rutgers play them and watching Rutgers play you, the way that Rutgers guards are able to physically impose some of their will
Yeah.
on opposing teams, is that something you see as being in Bruce's future? Is that something that you see as being part of his game? Can Bruce and Ice together do some of the things that Rutgers guards can do? Obviously, they have different body types.
Yeah, I mean, I think their length is a little bit different, and those guys are older. Um, but yeah, Bruce has been a really good two-way player for us, and so far, and I think his defense and his understanding of how we play will only increase. But he's physical, he's strong. Um, they Rutgers is such a unique team because their perimeter players are so long. They have a 6'7" point guard, and um, their backup point guard or one of their primary ball handlers is near 6'8". So just a really unique lineup.
And the way you guys have been able to defend Edie the last couple of years, you've used a lot of Kyle Young, and he's
Yeah.
obviously good at those kinds of matchups.
Yep.
Do you have something similar on this team, someone similar on this team that can do those kinds of things? I felt like maybe Gene had some of that, but he's missed so much time. I don't know if he's throw him into a Kyle Young against Zach Edey type of
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. No, I think Kyle's ability to be mobile, play really tough, be active, be physical, and yet at the same time obviously was undersized. I think this is an opportunity for Zed to really grow in his ability to defend a dominant post player. Listen, Zach's the most dominant. He's a human cheat code. He's the most dominant player in college basketball. We know that, so it's going to take a team effort. But they also have other guys that can score and other guys that can impact the game. But I think, this is an opportunity for Zed. He's now in a primary role. He really hasn't had this responsibility as much. Now he does as a junior, and he and Felix will take a large role in that.
How does a team coming off a loss like that? Does that change anything from your perspective, knowing they've
Yeah,
got a little bit more bite to them?
yeah, just that. Yeah, just that. I think you're going to face a team that's going to come in with a lot of bite. They're a really proud program. Matt's instilled that. They have really competitive guys. They've been hearing for 2 days some things. So there's no question that listen, I think when you're in this league, you understand you're going to lose in this league. No one's going undefeated in this league. And that's the reality of this, the depth of this league, and why it's consistently the deepest league in college basketball. I think the reality is you got to make sure. Listen, our guys, our guys have obviously a lot to play for as well. Their competitive edge can't be any greater than ours, but we know we're going to get Purdue's best shot.
Is he doing anything specifically different this year? Is it more just he's getting more minutes?
Edie, more consistent minutes, more consistent touches. He's now the primary focal point where last year it was he and Williams, and obviously you had a lottery pick there that took some shot volume for sure for good reason. So when you have a lottery pick and then you have a first team all league post guy along with Zach Edey, it's less opportunity for him. That's all it is. If you'd have guys that asked me in the preseason, I'd have said, hey, Zach Edey's going to be in the running for Big Ten Player of the Year and maybe National Player of the Year, because his usage rate was good while he was on the floor, but he wasn't on the floor as much as we expected him to be this year, and that's turned out to be the case.
Preparing to play the number one team in college basketball going forward. Is it different this year knowing that it's Purdue from the Big Ten other than Duke from the ACC, or how does preparation go this time?
No, obviously we played Michigan State a couple years ago here. We played, we played teams that played Duke. When I was at Butler, we played Villanova, so an in-league opponent. I don't think it's necessarily any different. you're playing the team and the program and the scheme as much as anything.
What have you seen from your team playing those big games, Duke, North Carolina, Maui, that they can use for this game?
I think we're like a lot of teams. We're continuing to learn and grow about ourselves. We're a work in progress. I think, I think fans look at games, and so do in some ways players. Big games, not as big. In this league, they're all really big. Obviously, when you have, I think one thing about playing a number one team in the country is it's a great opportunity. It's also a great compliment to Purdue and that program. It just is, and I think we've gotten ranked as high as fourth or fifth here in our time. But to be ranked in the regular season number one, it's a great compliment to them. But listen, I think our guys are growing and maturing. Our young guys are getting better, but we'll be as tested in this game as certainly we have all year.
Aside from the size that Purdue has, what makes them so good at getting to the line?
Terrific offensive rebounding team. Yeah, one of the very best in the country. They're an elite offensive rebounding team. I think that gets them to the line. And they do a good job attacking closeouts. Their guards are aggressive. But they've got really good talent around Edey. They have a four-man coming off the bench / five-man who was a five-star. So they've got really good players. They're athletic and big, and Matt's teams always are one of the most physical teams in the country.
You mentioned the freshman guards. What jumps out about Braden Smith?
Tough, really tough. Two-way player. Can guard, can make shots, aggressive, attacking. He is a really good player, and going to be a really good player in this league for a long time. I wouldn't trade our freshman point guard for anybody, but I think Braden's a good player. He's a really good player and going to be a really tough matchup.
Zed talked about the matchup with Baycott and maybe learning a few things from that and going against a guy with that kind of size. Obviously, he's even bigger, but what did you challenge Zed with coming out of that game when you broke down the film with him and went over how that went?
I think in that game, Zed let some of his offensive misses or not getting maybe early as involved as he'd like to affect his defense in some ways. And that's a maturity thing for him. He's got to continue to grow in. He's more than capable to defend bigger bodies. He's done that. And I think it's about angles. It's about awareness. It's about great effort. The thing with Zach is he's 7'4" plus, and they said he grew an inch, which is encouraging. The fact is he's just so massive in terms of how much he weighs. He's probably 290, close to 300 pounds. So I think that's, it's not just the length and the size. Sometimes leverage is a leverage play is as important as anything, and that's where Zed's really good because he's really strong. Here you don't really have a leverage play against a guy that size.
The Northwestern game, they're big. I think he had 13 rebounds.
Yeah.
07 from the floor.
Yeah.
Zed had a couple of blocks. Zed gave up some size and some weight to them. What did Zed do? What did you guys do to enable you guys to force him to a stat line like that? I'm not sure how many times you've seen a scorer get 13 rebounds and
Yeah.
all his shots.
Yeah, I think he's a really good rebounder, really active kid. And I think we felt like we had the ability, if we could wall him up, to force him into some misses. Zach's really worked on his touch in his 2 years, and you might have been able to force him to miss some early in his career, but he's really accurate at him. So I think you got to make him miss, and then you got to prevent him from touching the ball and certainly getting to the offensive glass. That's where he's so dominant, is his ability to get to the offensive glass.
Only a couple more. We'll start with Steve in the back.
Yeah, everybody back and healthy for Northwestern. The result was pretty good. You guys played a solid 40-minute game. Just how important is it to be at full strength right now?
Yeah.
I know it's hard to play 11 guys, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think, Steve, it's interesting that I've shared that stat about the first time we've been healthy. I think it was good to see. I think it's good for those guys just to get back. It certainly did help us. We did play really well against Northwestern, but in this league, it's all about, how are you playing on that given night. So this will obviously be a great challenge. But I think the ability to rest Bruce some, Steve, was important for us. The ability to have, just some versatility in our lineups was really important for us. And, it's good to have those guys back and healthy. And to your point, we've got to settle in on a rotation, but that'll be somewhat fluid as we get everybody back.
We just talked to Gene. Obviously, we've seen him the last 2 seasons, but not having him after what sounded like a pretty good preseason before he got hurt, and now getting him back, what could he bring that maybe he's grown in his game and you guys can use?
I think Gene's for us. It's been difficult for Gene because he had some moments in the off season where he was able to work out, but he also had some moments where he was out with various ailments. So he just has not had consistency. And as I've said, he's got to find his way. We played really well with rotation we've had set, so he's got to come back and find a way, just like anybody returning from injury, figure out how he can impact the game. And I know he'll do that. More than anything, again, I'm just really happy he's back and healthy. Okay, guys, take care.
Obviously, he's 7'4", so, he has that to account. He's a good player. He's averaging 22 points, 15 rebounds, I think. And, he's very effective where he is, so, you got to hone in on that. And it's a team effort. It's just not only him that you have to worry about. They're a good team, they're number one, so they're not number one for no reason. So, we just got to be ready to go tomorrow.
The matchup you had against Buckeyes, are there any similarities in the way they play? Is there anything from that game or lessons from that game that you think will help you in this one?
I mean, UNC, they're both very physical. UNC and Purdue, they play very physical in the paint. Obviously, Baycott's 7 foot. Zach Edey is a little bit taller and a little bit heavier, but just coming in, following the game plan and playing really well and execute. So, I think we should be fine tomorrow when we play them.
How much do you take this as a personal challenge to go against the South Bay? Gene just said it's not just one guy that has to guard him. Obviously, it's 5-on-5, but I think that's probably the matchup most people look at is who's going to stop Zach Edey. How much do you take that on your shoulders personally?
I mean, I see all the stuff on social media and stuff about the matchups and stuff. I just come in and play my game. I don't be bothered with the social media hype about it because it's a game. So and just go out there and play like I would play and play like how the team plays, and we'll be fine. I mean, I tell them they're a really good team. As I just said, they're not number one for no reason. It's gonna be the game's gonna come down to the last possession. So we got to value the ball, play defense, and as I just said, execute. And we're gonna get the outcome we're looking for.
Is there any tougher matchup in the Big Ten as far as you're concerned at
The Big Ten, every team has good bigs. Every game, you're going against a physical big who wants to knock your head off. So, it's just not Zach Edey. It's the whole Big Ten.
What's he doing better this year, doing differently to be more productive?
I mean, their team is finding him in the right spots. He's obviously 7'4", so they just lob the ball to him. He just goes up and dunk it. But his touches, watching film on him, he's worked on his touch and he's gotten better. But I think we should be good against them. Playing physical against them, we should be solid. Not really, even though it's a little weird that they're in the Big Ten, they're number one. But it still doesn't change. It's still the Big Ten. It's still gonna be a physical game, a hard-fought game, and obviously it's a little bit increased because they're number one. They're coming into our house, so we try to protect home court. So we're gonna be ready to go. Just tell him when it's his time, go. Obviously he's been really productive so far this year, as you've seen, rebounding, blocking shots, scoring, catching around the rim, dunking it. So I just told him just to do that, and you'll be fine.
You said you guys have faced a bunch of good offensive rebounding teams this year. How do you feel like you guys have grown in terms of your defensive rebounding as a team so far?
I mean, we definitely got a lot better since the beginning of the year. Coach Holman has definitely put an emphasis on rebounding the ball on offense and the defensive end. Limiting teams to one shot, and it's going to be a test for us this game. But I think we should be fine.
After the Northwestern game, they're big at I think 13 rebounds. He was 0 for 7 from the floor. I'm not sure how many times I've seen a 7-footer go 0 7 from the floor. You had a couple of blocks on him. What did you make of that matchup? Why were you guys able collectively and yourself individually to hold him like that?
I mean, he's playing physical against him. Coach was like, just play really physical, and he's gonna miss him around the rim, and we did that, and we saw it against when we played him. I don't know. You said he was 0 for 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it worked, and we got the W.
Preparing for this Purdue team, in the past when you prepared for Edie, you also had to prepare for Travion. How different is it not having Travion out there as well, and just sort of one big guy to focus on?
I mean, Travion and Edie play two totally different style of big man game. Edie's more like over the top, dunk, because he's 7'4". But Travion was, very finesse. You have to watch out for his shot fakes. He's gonna try to spin around you. So it's definitely, it looks a little different that he's not there. But we still got to prepare for Zach Edey.
And for you personally, you haven't had a lot of individual success against Purdue in your career. Some of it, I know you had the injury last year. But, what has been the challenge for you, the way they play, or just kind of the matchup that has been an issue or been tough for you?
I think it was just like me being so focused on defense and not letting him score. I wasn't looking for my game on the offensive end. But talk with the coaches. They'll like, look, be ready. We're gonna go to you. You have to be able to make plays. So I'm looking forward to this game tomorrow.
How different is that this year? Like not just focusing, maybe. I mean, obviously you're still going to focus on your defense, but like you're a go-to guy in the offense.
Yeah.
That's probably a different mindset. How has that adjustment been different for you this year?
It's been a little adjustment. Obviously, last year we had EJ, Malachi, and I was scoring a little bit too last year. But it's been an adjustment. One that I've taken not very lightly. I work hard every day. I've just finished a workout, and it's been showing on the floor.
You said now that you've kind of expanded your range in your offensive game, how much easier will that make it kind of this Purdue defense?
It makes it a little easier. Obviously, Edie's not going to really leave the paint. He's a rim protector, so being able to step out, be able to hit mid-range and threes definitely will help us this game.
You said you obviously have played with Gene for the last 2 years.
Yep.
Not having him to start the season, what kind of impact would that have on you guys and getting him back? What can he bring?
I mean, we missed him a lot, on the defensive end, even on offense, getting us extra possessions, scoring the ball. So it's definitely good to have him back, and I look forward to playing with him on the court this game.